Hello everyone, I am Neha Kazi from Leelavati Lalji High School and College of Commerce. In our geography lesson today, we are going to talk about chapter number 8, Economy and Occupations of India and Brazil. So let's begin. Alright, so here we can see India, Brazil and USA. The reason we are going to compare India, Brazil and USA is because India and Brazil are both developing countries, alright, and USA is already a developed country. So we will see how these two countries are different from a developed country, alright. So we'll be talking about economy, the gross national income, per capita income and the size of population. So India and Brazil both follow mixed and developing economy. All right. Mixed economy means what? They have public and private sector both. All right. So that's mixed economy and developing, which means both the countries are developing countries. Whereas USA follows a capitalist economy and it is already a developed country. All right. Now, if we talk about the gross national income, so compared to Brazil, our national income is high, but compared to USA, India's national income is low. For Brazil, if we compare it with India and USA both, their gross national income is low. But USA, since it's a developed country, if we compare it with India and Brazil, their gross national income is very high. Then let's talk about the per capita income. So now per capita income compared to Brazil of India is low and compared to USA it is very low. Now we actually divide the national income with the total population. Alright, and that is why if you see that though our national income, alright, gross national income compared to Brazil is high, but our per capita income compared to Brazil is low because India is highly populated. Okay, so when we are talking about the per capita income, we come down, very down, when we are comparing it with USA. So compared to Brazil, it is low and compared to USA, it is very low. Then talking about Brazil's per capita income, compared to India, it is high, but compared to USA, it is very low. Of course, USA compared to India and Brazil, it is very high. Size of population of India compared to Brazil and USA is very high, whereas of Brazil compared to India and USA, it is low. Compared to India, USA's population is low, but compared to Brazil, USA's population is high. All right. Let's proceed further now. Okay. Rate of literacy, so compared to Brazil and USA both, the rate of literacy in India is low, which means Brazil and USA have much more literate people than us. All right. So Brazil, see here, compared to India, their literacy rate is high, but compared to USA, their literacy rate is low, as we can see here. And for USA, if you compare it with both India and Brazil, its literacy rate is high compared to both the countries. Okay. Now, reason for difference in gross national income and national per capita income. I've already told you this. So, compared to Brazil, our national income is high. But compared to Brazil's population also, our population is high. So, that is why when we are comparing the per capita income, see, we divide the national income to the total population of the country. So in this, because we have a lot of people, our per capita income becomes less. Okay. Now here if you see in Brazil, the national income of Brazil is low compared to India. But the population is also low compared to India. And that is why their national per capita income becomes higher than India. Okay. And here obviously in USA we have seen that, their national income is very high. They have a lot of patents, they have modern technology. So even though their population compared to Brazil is high, okay, yet their per capita income is very high compared to both the countries. Because their national income is very high. All right. So that's about the reason in the difference between your national income and your per capita income. Let's proceed and talk about the occupations which are there in Brazil. All right. So agriculture is done in Brazil. We have animal husbandry also in Brazil. So Brazilian highlands and coastal regions is where agriculture is developed. Okay. So here they have variety of crops. There is favorable climate and topographical situations which enables the variety of crops. Then they have main cereal crops which are grown here. So corn is grown in Central Park and rice is grown in coastal areas. Then they have cash crops, which is coffee. Brazil is known for its coffee, cocoa, rubber, soybean and sugarcane. They also export coffee and soya bean. All right, it's done on a large scale. Then fruits are cultivated here like banana, pineapples, oranges and other citrus fruits. Talking about animal husbandry now, so in the savanna grassland in the southern part of Brazil, cattle, sheep and goats are bred on a large scale. So meat and dairy products are also produced in Brazil on a large scale in this region. Then Brazil also has mining as their occupation. So in the eastern parts, there is deposit of iron ore, manganese, nickel, copper, bauxite, tungsten, diamonds, etc., which is found on a large scale. Then towards the Amazon River basin, there's limitation of mining activities due to inaccessibility. We have already seen that transportation is also not very well developed in this area, so it becomes inaccessible. Plus lack of knowledge of potential reserves of natural resources. So they do not even know because it's too dense. They do not even know if they're going to find some, resources there. So that is why it becomes difficult. They have dense evergreen forest and lack of transport facility becomes a major reason why the mining activities are limited in the Amazon River basin. All right. Then talking about the Brazilian highlands. So due to availability of natural resources, increasing demand, availability of facilities, mining activities is carried out on a large scale in the Brazilian highlands. Let's proceed ahead and talk about fishing. So Brazil is gifted with a coastline of nearly 7,400 kilometers. All right. So here Brazil ocean have cold and cold currents are there. Okay. So because of these currents, the southeast Brazil has a lot of fishing. Okay. So a lot of fishing activities are carried out. Okay. So fishing is one of the traditional occupations in Brazil. Fishermen have been using primitive techniques and equipments for Brazil. Nowadays, large vessels are also being used. So swordfish, shrimp, lobsters, sardinous fish, they are all mainly caught in the ocean in Brazil. And due to the rigid topography, dense forest and huge discharge from rivers, inland fishing is developed on a small scale, which means they majorly do your ocean fishing, ocean water fishing, not inland water fishing. All right. Let's talk about the distribution of industries in Brazil now. So the major industries which are found in Brazil are iron and steel, automobile, petroleum processing, chemical production, cement making, technologically based industries, etc. are found in Brazil. We also have traditional industries like food processing industries, sugar industries, cotton textile, silk and woolen industries in Brazil. Okay, now let's talk about how they're distributed. So many large-scale industries are concentrated in the southern and southeastern region of Brazil, because we've already seen that the human settlements are also in this specific area only, right? So there are more of industries in this specific region. Then we have industries that are poorly located in the northeastern part, okay, because it is poorest, it is drought-prone region of Brazil. So see, facilities are not there, students, right? So it is not developed, but government has taken initiative in, investing in that part also And of course, it is promoting industrial growth in that region. Not just this, but they also have made a Go West policy, which we have studied about. Now let's talk about the occupations that we have in India. Agriculture being our main occupation. So it is one of the traditional occupation. Nearly 60% of land is under cultivation in India. Most of the agriculture is of subsistence nature. Compared to Brazil, the contribution of agriculture in our GDP is high. And compared to Brazil, the percentage of population of the total population engaged in agriculture is also high. All right. So there are a lot of factors which promote a strong base here for agriculture, because we have extensive plain, we have fertile soil, we have long growing seasons, there is variety in climate, and all these things are favorable for conducting agricultural activities. So the main food crops which are grown here is rice, wheat, sorghum, millets, maize, etc. Cash crops which are grown here is tea, coffee, cotton, sugarcane, rubber, jute, etc. And other crops also we cultivate here. There are variety of spices, fruits and vegetables which are cultivated in India. Let's proceed and talk about fishing. So one of the largest producers of fish, both marten and inline fishing. All right. So here we are talking about the importance. So fishing provides food and stuff and diet, generates employment, it raises nutrition level and helps in earning for extreme. So people can get into fishing as an occupation and they can make money out of it. All right. Fish is also an important part of diet in states of Maharashtra, Goa, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal and Odisha. So people are also very fond of eating fish here in India. So now here we have marine fishing first and inland fishing. Two types I'm going to talk about. So marine fishing is what it accounts for about 40% of the total annual production of fishes in India. It is confined to the coastal waters in the west from Kutch, Malabar coast to Coromandel coast in the east. All right. Sardines, markhor, Bombay duck, prawns, etc. are the fishes which are mainly caught in the Arabian Sea. Horse mussels, clupets and silver bellies are mainly caught in the Bay of Bengal. So these are facts, students. These are names of the fishes and where they are found, where they are caught. That's what is given to us here. And then, like I said, we have freshwater fishing also. So about 60% of the annual production of fishing we get from freshwater fishing in India. 40% was from marine time. All right. So mainly it is carried out in rivers, canals, irrigation channels, tanks, ponds, etc. Silver bellies, carp, these are the two main fishes which are caught in these fishing. Okay. So that was about fishing. Let's talk about the mining activities. So Chota Nagpur Plateau is known as a big storehouse of variety of minerals. Coal is mined in Korba in Chhattisgarh and in the eastern Maharashtra. We do have mineral oil wells also which are found in Assam, Mumbai High in the Arabian Sea near Mumbai in Maharashtra, then Kolonj and Koitli in Gujarat. We have reserves of mineral oil and natural gas which are found in the mouth of river Godavari. Stones are also found here, like marbles are found in Rajasthan, Kadapa is found in Andhra Pradesh. Now let's talk about the industries. So again, we have uneven distribution of industries, same like Brazil. All right, now because there is, distribution of raw material, power resources, as well as the construction of enterprises, financial resources and other necessary conditions. Because of this, there is uneven distribution of industries in Maharashtra. Okay, metallurgical industries are found in Jharkhand, Orissa, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. Okay, so they have the highest metallic minerals found. Then we also have these in the northeastern part of peninsula. availability of coal and refractory minerals, power from Damodar Valley Corporation, number of thermal power projects have supported metallurgical industries in this region. So we have copper, lead, zinc based industries which are developed in Rajasthan. Steel, manganese and aluminium based industries are located in Karnataka. So aluminium based industries have concentrated in the state of Tamil Nadu. Again, complete fact students, where, which, what. Okay, that's how this entire thing is, correct? They're talking about which minerals are found, which industries are found and where they are found. Let's move ahead with agro-based industries. So agro-based industries like cotton, jute and sugar are concentrated in the raw material producing areas. All right. Sugar industries are developed in Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh. So where sugarcane is cultivated, there you will have sugar industry. That's what the first point also told us. So towards the raw material producing areas, they'll be located. So where you have a sugarcane field, you will in the nearby vicinity, you will also find a sugar industry there. Okay. So jute industry is well developed in West Bengal. Then forest-based industries like paper, plywood, matches, resins, lac, etc. are located near forests in many states. Coir and copra and fish canning industries are found in the coastal regions, especially in the state of Karnataka. So that's about agro-based industries, which means you get raw material, correct? And then you have industries based on it. Then talking about the oil refining industries. So Koyali, Digboy, Noonmati and Bongagon refineries are located in the coastal petroleum producing areas. Mathura and Barauni refineries are located in the interior parts, that is away from the coastal oil producing areas. We also have cement industries, salt industries and other industries. Cement industry is mainly located towards the raw material producing areas, whereas salt will mainly find in Gujarat, Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu. Okay. Other industries like mechanical engineering industry, electrical industries, automobile industries, fertilizer producing industries, consumer industries are distributed all over the country. All right. And these industries are mainly concentrated in the big towns and cities. All right. Where it is much more developed. Okay. Now let's talk about the comparison of India and Brazil in terms of import and export trading patterns and the contribution of it to GDP. So here we can see petroleum, what imports are done in India: petroleum, machines, frills, precious stones, gold, silver, paper, medicines. Whereas in Brazil, again, we'll find machineries, chemical products, fertilizers, wheat, heavy vehicles, mineral oils, lubricants, etc. What do we export? Tea, coffee, spices, leather goods, iron ore, cotton, silk, textile, mangoes, etc. are exported from India. And in Brazil, it is iron ore, coffee, cocoa, soybean, sugar, tobacco, oranges, bananas, etc. Alright, these are the major exports. Then they are trading partners. So India has UK, USA, Germany, Japan, China, Russia, wherein we trade with them a lot. Okay. And in Brazil, it is Germany, USA, Canada, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, and India. All right. So how much does this trading contribute to the GDP? So in India, it is nearly 40% according to 2012. All right. And 25% in Brazil. Okay. Now, comparative study of India and Brazil with reference to the foreign investments. So, the level of investment in Brazil, in India compared to Brazil. So, Indian companies invested in Brazil is high. Okay. Whereas compared to India, Brazilian companies' investment in India is low. So, India is investing in Brazil, but Brazil is not investing in India, which means their investment is low in our country. And the sectors of investment. So where is India investing and where is Brazil investing? So information technology, pharmaceuticals, energy, agro-based business, mining, engineering and automobiles. And in Brazil, it is information technology, energy, mining, automobiles, footwear, biofuels, etc. So that's all, students, in this chapter. It was a complete summary of what the entire chapter is all about, and I hope you all have understood it. Thank you so much.